In the reloading process, case preparation has become vital, as the case is the one component that can be used multiple times during the reloading process. Here are a number of tools that I have to prepare a case. First, we have our case. This case has been fire formed. Fire formed means that a bullet has been shot from this case in my rifle, so therefore the case has expanded to my chamber and been formed in the chamber, so therefore it's fire formed. It has got a spent primer, and it's got dirt around it where the gases would have blackened it. So these are the cases that we're going to, first we're going to deep prime them, then we're going to check the case overall length to ensure that they're safe, and if need be, chamfer and deburr the flash hole and the neck. Here I have my neck sizing die. I'm going to do neck sizing, as my rounds are for a bolt action rifle, so I'm not going to do therefore I'm not going to full length size the case because it's been fire formed. I'm just going to neck size, and this is the primer, or the primer remover. This tool is a flash hole deburrer. That will go for the 6.5 by 55 caliber. That will go inside the case. Once the primer is out, it'll pop out through the primer, and a couple of turns of that will take any burrs out from the inside of the case, because during manufacturing cases the flash hole, the primer pocket hole, is sort of punched with a punch, and therefore there might be some burrs inside the case. Here, this is my case overall length cutter. So when I have the primer removed, I can slap this little case holder, I slap my case in here, tighten it up, put my case overall length in here, and I can turn that round, and if it needs to be, it'll shave off with these teeth, it'll shave off the case to the correct length of 8 for the 6.5mm case size. And here, this is a primer pocket cleaner. There's a small end for pistol primer pockets, and the larger end is for rifle primer pockets. So when the primer's out, I can chamfer inside and clean that out, any debris. And here we have the neck chamfering deburring tool. So let's get started. To start, I take my neck size and put it into a press. And I'm using the Lee press with the Lee neck sizing die. Lee recommend that to set up the neck sizing die, you wind your lock nut out, you bring your ram up so that when you wind in your neck sizing die, it touches your ram, and then you bring your ram down a little bit and give it one more turn and tighten it in, and therefore you might see a little bit of flexibility in when the two components meet. So let's take a case, put the case into the case holder. The neck sizing die will pop the primer out. The primer will run down this tube. It's a spent primer, it's no good anymore. And also to squeeze the neck and the throat and the shoulder of the bullet just enough so that it'll allow me to seat a new bullet when the time comes. A little bit of pressure is needed for this. So the primer is popped, a little bit more squeeze, run the case down, give it a 180 turn, and run it back up. And that now has neck sized this case. The next step for this case will be to go into the tumbler. So my tumbler over here is a Turbo Pro 1200. It's got 2 pounds of media. It's like walnut, crushed walnut, and I might leave these cases in here for maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, until they're very, very shiny and clean. Then the case can be inspected to to see if there's any cracks or any markings of weakness around the case neck, the shoulder or the case head. And if there is any problems like that, discard the case by crushing the case and throwing it out. Never use the case, no matter what. Always dump it. Just crush it up and throw it out. We'll take another case. We'll run it through. Turn it 180 degrees. Run it through. One more case into the case holder. Run it through. Turn it 180 degrees. Back around. Run the case through. Turn it 180 degrees. And we'll take our final case. Run it through once. Turn it 180 degrees. Run it through again. So that's 5 cases neck sized and deprimed. Next step, tumbler.